What up, peeps? What are you doing? Where you at? What are you doing? What are you doing? Seriously, guys, has anyone been to Holi Festival? I just want to get this out there. Has anyone been to Holi Festival? Does anyone know what Holi Festival is? This is what Holi Festival is.
Bring me a dream. Bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen.
Like, seriously, how good is that? Like, it's seriously one of the best things I've ever done. And the reason why I'm making this vlog today is because Holi Festival just happened in India, and I want to know if anyone actually went to it in India or celebrated it somewhere else. The story around this trip is that I went to India on a trip with Cover More Travel Insurance. I said, let's go there, let's film Holi Festival from a traveler's point of view, like the reality of going to India, experiencing India as a traveler, and not being all just like surrounded by just all the big temples and everything else, but try and get in to what the people are doing and experiencing it kind of from your, like, my eyes, like traveling. That's why I filmed majority of that Holi Festival with a tiny little GoPro. And like, it is actually really hard to film Holi Festival because there is powder going everywhere, there is water going everywhere. And when I was actually inside that temple, Baki Bahari temple, I think it was called, put a message in the comments if I'm wrong. Baki Bahari? I don't know, something like that. That's what I was calling it when I was in India. So maybe everyone was laughing at me because I was saying it wrong. But when I actually got inside that temple, that's where, like, it kind of like everyone in Mathura was kind of like wandering down the streets throwing powder. There were like goats and cows walking around everywhere, cars. There was thousands upon thousands of people walking towards this temple. And I feel like the temple was the pinnacle of Holi. That's where we went in there, and I guess that's where the religious side of it, like the worship or whatever they were doing in there, took place. So once I got in there, there was like Nat Geo, there was Lonely Planet, there was so many like pro photographers in there with these massive DSLRs wrapped up in like bags. Some people had plastic bags on them, garbage bags, some had professional kits around there, some people had full-on plastic molds around their cameras. I, on the first day, had my DSLR wrapped in Glad wrap. You know the Glad wrap that you wrap a sandwich up in? That's what I had. And then when I'm like, my camera is getting absolutely hammered here by like powder and everything, because this is the finest powder. Once I get it inside your camera, you're done. Like, seriously, it is the worst place on earth to take a camera. So the second day was the craziest day. The first one was kind of like the pre to Holi Festival, like the warm up. The second day I knew it was gonna get crazy. I had a touch, I had a flavor of it. I'm like, I'm not taking the DSLR, I'm taking the GoPro, and it was the best thing I did. I didn't take my wallet. I took some cash and rolled it up and I put it down my underpants. I took a spare battery and a spare SD card, wrapped that up, put it down my underpants. Like, I knew that I was gonna get grabbed and felt and picked up and thrown around and absolutely saturated in powder and water, that I was like, I need to have the most minimalistic camera kit that I can get the best footage possible, and it's like try and film it in a way that is like me. There's a camera attached to me, showing what I was doing, what I was experiencing, what was happening around me. And you know what? It paid off. That GoPro was the best thing ever. Like the GoPros, look, I can't speak more highly of GoPro because their camera in these kind of situations just works. It just works. Like I didn't think twice about dropping it, getting stuff thrown all over it. It was a bomb. So like my trip was huge in India. Like I traveled so many different areas of India. Like if you look back in my videos, you'll be able to see some of the places I went to. Kolkata and Delhi, did the Golden Triangle, went to the Pink City, Taj Mahal of course. But like when I was in Delhi, the story goes, this is like, it was, oh, I wish I knew how long it was. Like it was between 4 and 6 hours, maybe it was 6 and 8 hours drive from Delhi down to Mathura. I need to double check that on Google, but I actually took a taxi for that long. So let's say it was 6 hours. I took a 6-hour taxi, and I think the guy drove back that same day. Mind-blowing that these guys do that. But the taxi wasn't that expensive. Maybe just taxis are cheap in India. I'd never do a 6-hour journey in Australia, but that's where I was like prepped my camera and doing all that stuff, turned up there, chucked everything inside my hotel room. And guys, if you get a chance, get there and experience Holi, because it'll change your perception of travel. It opened up so many things in my heart and in my mind around travel, around people, around getting around, opening myself up to like things that I wasn't totally comfortable with, and just surrendering so many things like hospitality, cleanliness, smells, simple things like lining up to get a ticket at a train station. Like in Australia, there's like, it's just general etiquette that you line up behind the next person, you wait your turn. But like sitting there just waiting and seeing all these people just crowd around and just like coming in and getting their tickets around me, I'm just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And that is just like one small part, like filming on a beach in India, and thinking, wow, this sunset is absolutely amazing. So I wandered down, and the whole beach was like these massive boulder rocks, and I looked down and there was like what I thought was dog poo on the stones, and I looked around and it was virtually on every single stone, dog poo. And then I'm like, this is hectic, like this is disgusting. There's a beautiful sunset out there. I'm standing on, like, to me, the world's worst beach I've ever seen. But I looked further and looked around, and there was about 20 guys sporadically on the beach squatting, doing a dump. And I'm like, that's the point where I'm like, this is not dog poo. This is human feces across this whole beach. But the photos I got of that sunset and these kids dancing and playing and swimming on this pier, like, it was, oh, such a contrast. Like, if I didn't tell you that story, you would have no idea. You'd just see a beautiful sunset and these kids dancing, and you wouldn't know what I actually went through to actually get that shot. And it's the same with Holi. Like the trip from Delhi to Mathura was a long and hot journey. Like I had so many stories. I remember pulling, like, getting the car to pull over so I could go into the bushes and pee. And I'm peeing in the bushes, it's on the side of the highway. I look around myself, my surrounds, and I'm peeing inside a marijuana plantation. No joke, this is no joke. There were marijuana plants all the way around me. And I'm like, come back to my taxi driver, I'm like, do you know what's down there? Like, and he's like, yeah, no, it's all over the shop. Like, it's just mind-blowing situations like that, like, Holi was just one of the climaxes for me of that India trip. Like, it was the most amazing experiences, like the smells, the visuals, the colors, the people, the excitement. One of the biggest days I've ever had in my whole entire life. I know this is a long story, guys. I wasn't expecting to sit here and just do story time with you about this trip to India, and I could speak forever about some of my trips, and this is just one trip to India that I did, and so many more stories from that. But if you get a chance, guys, go to Holi Festival in India next year, 2018. Chuck it in your calendar and experience it. If you're a woman, please go with a bunch of guys. I swear you'll have a better time. And look, I did it solo. It's not for everyone. It is pretty out there and full on to experience India solo, especially at Holi Festival time. But get there. India is so underrated. And you speak to anyone who's done a trip to India, they'll say they had a freaking amazing time. I'd say like a high 90% of people would say that. It is like, it was never on my top 10 list to actually go to India. I wanted to go there, experience it, but I had so many other places I wanted to go to first. And now I just I cannot recommend India so highly to people, and I just want to get back there myself. And it's so big, there's so many people, there's so much happening. And if you're a photographer, you will fall in love with this place. But guys, I think I've talked enough. I hope you enjoyed that Holi Festival video. I'm going to chuck up the original video up the top here that I did when I went there on that trip. I'm going to chuck it in a playlist as well, so there'll be a few videos from that. There's one that's interactive where you can actually choose where you want to see in the Holi Festival video, which took me forever to work out how to do. Let me know in the comments. I'd like to start like a little feed about the festivals and the powder runs and stuff, and what you've been to, what you recommend, what you liked about it. If you're not I can't even talk, guys. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. I love you guys. I love building this community and chatting with you guys. I'm falling in love with YouTube, building these videos with you guys. I have so much travel recommendations and stories and footage I want to share with you guys, and so many more trips coming up. Have the most amazing day or night wherever you are in the world. Travel safe, live life to its fullest, my friends. Give the video a thumbs up. Say hi to your mum. Peace out.